Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the state of New Hampshire, here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the 8th race in the NSDCA Dr. Pepper Dash Series. 22 drivers gear up for this 1 mile flat oval in what is sure to be a great race. 25 laps of action on tap on this cloudy afternoon here in New England. And on the front row, Dale Cole Jr. and Max Anderson. It's your man, Zach Rogers, commentating this for you guys again, hoping that today's race is a lot better than the chaotic one we had in the state of Delaware at Dover Motor Speedway a few weeks ago. Getting to the rest of your starting lineup, Daniel Kobza and Desmond Docks in row 2. Your Dover winner, Joe Rakowski and Wyatt Quayle in row 3. James Ellison and Aiden Shepard, row 4. Row 5 is Kyle Corbett and Alexa Lushon. Row 6, Adam Mitchell and Zach Rogers. Row 7, Sam Picard and Logan York. Row 8, John Felber and the Demolition Man himself, Cody Lamas. Row 9 is Julio Caesar and Kev Shearer. Row 10, Eric Stamp, and the 12 of Bob Helipad. And in the last row, row 11, is the 44 of Mitchell Collins, and your points leader, the 85 of Casey Nanico. As we await the command of fire engines, 26 points is the most you can make up in a race. How many drivers will be in that points gap after today?
Come say it with me. Drivers, start your engine!
As the pace car makes its way off a pit road, let's just briefly go over the following drivers not in the race today that were in the race back at Dover. They include Brad Stover, Jordan Forbes, Blaze Cibertar, and lastly the 91 of Alex Turner. The 4 drivers in the field that were not at Dover: Logan York, Bob Helipad, Julio Caesar, and Aiden Shepard. York and Caesar both sponsorless rides. Helipad sponsored by United Rentals. Aiden Shepard backed by Monster Energy. As we come into this race today, let's look at the point standings really quickly. Nanico with an 11-point advantage over Adam Mitchell. Kyle Corbett, or Bay, 20 points back. Dale Cole Jr., 30 back. Kobza, 34 back. And the last one in a 2-race range is Sam Picard, 52 points back. And the only driver that's won races out of those 6 this season is Kyle Corbett. In that 32 machine, green flag drops. Dale Cole Jr. leads him to the start-finish line. 25 laps of action on this cloudy afternoon. And Anderson is fighting back on the outside. And Anderson will actually clear for the lead. And Docks for a second now. Docks peeking to the inside for the race lead. As they come off of turn number 4, it'll be Anderson leading lap 1 as the top side appears to be the way to go around New Hampshire Motor Speedway. But these Dr. Pepper Dash Series drivers are throwing it into the corner. The 93 of Daniel Kobza will make the bottom work on Desmond Docks. He'll take second place away in that number 93 Pontiac Redline Oil KRV Motorsports machine. And now he's all over the bumper of Max Anderson, who we saw had 2 amazing saves at Dover. Nearly wrecked twice, but he kept his car under him. And he was able to finish the race in a race that saw, I believe, if memory serves correct, half the field DNF. So 87 and the 93 drive away. Docks has a bumper full of the 02 of Wyatt Quayle for 3rd place. Joe Rakowski, our winner from Dover, sitting in 5th. Pole sitter Dale Cole Jr. falling down to 6th place. This race is sure to go by fast if we stay green. Adam Mitchell in 7th, trying to gain points, as Rakowski to the inside of Quayle put Mitchell to the inside of Dale Cole Jr. Aiden Shepard in 8th. Zach Rogers started 12th. He's up to 9th. As Corbett And Lucian side by side. Look at Lucian throw it into turn 3. And there's Cody Lamas as well. As big man to note, as they're 3 wide behind him, Casey Nanico started last, 22nd place on the grid. And Nanico is trying to get his cousin Sub's Columbus Dodge towards the front of the field. He's been the dominant driver this season in the NSDCA Dr. Pepper Dash Series with an average finish of 8th place through 7 races, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s. He's racing Adam Mitchell, 11 points over Mitchell coming into the race, 20 over Corbet. Right now, those are the 3 drivers within a 1 race advantage as Lamas is up off of turn 4, possibly in the wall there. And right now, Nanico is trying to minimize as much damage as he can to his points lead. Iowa, the final race of the season, next up on the calendar. And Nanico's just trying to get that championship for Columbus here in the Dr. Pepper Dash Series. Fastest lap on the board belongs to the 87 of Max Anderson with a 31.327. As Nanico will dive it under Eric Stamp for 14th place. As Lamas is rubbing doors with Corbet there through turn 2. Racing there for, I believe, 12th place after Felber passes Corbet for 11th. And now you can see the gap from Lucian in 9th to Shepard in 8th as the 93 of Kabza has the race lead over Max Anderson. Kabza coming into this race 5th in the points, 34 out. A win would be huge for him, especially with Nanico outside the top 10 right now. Kabza needs to gain at least 8 points to be within a 1 race gap on the points leader if he wants a shot at the title heading into Iowa. The top 6 in points are the only drivers to make every race at 7 races apiece. That's Nanico, Mitchell, Corbet, Cole Jr., Kabza, and Picard. Anderson and Ellison have missed 1 race. Rogers and Lucian have missed 2. Rakowski, who won at Dover, has missed 3. Highest in the points not in the race today is Alex Turner, 12th in the standings. 9 laps down, 16 laps to go. As Anderson has a bumper full of Dover winner Joe Rakowski. He might not be in contention for the championship, but Rakowski is looking to go back-to-back here in the Dr. Pepper Dash Series. And he might have a good ride under him. That's that number 66. Pontiac Power Sport Pontiac, sponsored by Tide. And he's all over the CLR 87, driven by Max Anderson. That's the Ford out of Zachary Racing. As they throw it into the corner, they're trying to catch the 93 of Daniel Kabza, and Anderson made some pretty good headway there in turn 2. Mitchell right behind these drivers in 4th, and then a gap back to Desmond Docks in 5th. Dale Cole Jr. and him racing for 5th place. Quayle 7th, Shepard 8th. As Lucian tries to close up in 9th, put Corbet up to 10th place. As here comes Casey Nanico now, looking for 13th place on James Ellison. And Nanico, man, if he minimizes the damage here today at New Hampshire, he's got to make sure that he starts near the front at Iowa. He cannot have these bad qualifying runs. Dover, he had an issue on the grid. He had to come to pit road. He got it out there at the green flag, but it relegated him to the back, and he got caught up in the mayhem. And he ended up with a poor finishing result. Now here today at New Hampshire, started 22nd. He's got it up to 13th, 12 laps down, 13 laps to go. In a much calmer race here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And Nanico will set up Zach Rogers looking for 12th place as Felber drives away in 11th. And Felber diving it in on Corbet. He'll drift up the track. The top side has appeared to have a little bit more grip than the bottom at times. But Felber will slide there through turn 2. Into turn 3 he goes. Can Felber get his Burger King Pontiac into the top 10? He's got to get by Kyle Corbet to do it. Actually, yes, Pontiac. I was looking at the wrong name for a moment and almost said the wrong manufacturer. Nanico, though, right on by Zach Rogers, and there's Demolition Man Cody Lamas right on by the 21. And he'll move up to 13th place. Lamas went for one heck of a ride at Dover, but Rogers wasting no time with a crossover into turn 3. Haven't talked a lot about the guys here at the back. Ellison's race ended early at Dover. He's sitting in 15th. Mitchell Collins in the 44 was part of some mayhem back at Dover. He's in 16th. Meanwhile, Kev Shearer 17th, Julio Caesar 18th, Stamp 19th. The 12 driven by Bob Helipad in 20th as Sam Picard and Logan York round out the field. It's back to the front, 9 laps to go at New Hampshire. As we have remained green, but Anderson has caught back up. Oh, he's going to drift up the track there, almost gets in the wall. And Adam Mitchell has made it by Joe Rakowski for 3rd. But these Dr. Pepper Dash Series drivers, man, they lay it out all on the line. They dive it into the corners. Fearless drivers, reckless drivers, some may say. But these drivers have kept it off the wall today compared to what they did at Dover. Rakowski with a good turn 1's going to close up on the bumper of that Petco 61 machine. As Anderson falls back to a second behind Kobsa. He had it down to about 3/10, but he missed turn 1. He's got to drive it really hard now if he wants to close back up on the gap. As Kobsa continues to lead the race, not showing a lot of tire fall off here today at New Hampshire. As these Dr. Pepper Dash Series drivers pretty much able to just do whatever they want with these race cars. As Rakowski falls back away from Adam Mitchell. Put Wyatt Quayle up to 5th. He got by Desmond Docks and Dale Cole Jr., but Docks is going to throw it into the corner. Docks trying to get that Pertec Fitzwater Australia Racing Dodge to stick under the O2 Cosmo Motors Smart Motorsports Ford of Wyatt Quayle. He can't get it done. Dale Cole Jr. there in his Racing with Jesus Pontiac for Shepherd Racing. Just kind of chilling there in 7th. Now he's all over the bumper of Desmond Docks. Lou Shawn up to 8th place. Got up to Aiden Shepard there. As Corbet under fire from Felber for 10th. Nanico sitting there in 12th. As a gap back to Lamas and Zach Rogers, who fight it out for 13th place. It looks like the pack has split up tremendously here. And no signs of anybody with damage. 5 to go there at the line. Anderson closing the gap on Kobsa again. But here comes Adam Mitchell. He was the one trying to track down Joe Rakowski. Back at Dover for the win. Both drivers got in the wall, racing back to what was the race-ending caution flag. And here today, Mitchell trying to gain all the points he can. I'll say it again. I've said it before. 11 points is the gap between Nanico and Mitchell coming into the race today. Mitchell could take the points lead depending where he and Nanico finish. But at the very least, I'd have to say right now it's looking to be under 5 points between Nanico and Mitchell heading into Iowa for the final round of the season. 3 laps to go. And Anderson's going to throw it into turn 1. And he made it stick. He's all over the bumper of Daniel Kobza. Kobza has led this entire race. And Kobza, another driver in contention, or trying to be in contention for this title. 34 back coming in on Nanico. Nanico sits in 12th, and Kobza's got to get this win. He needs to gain all the points he can just to have a shot, as we've had a crash. Wyatt Quayle and Kev Shear with problems. Did that bring out the caution? No, it did not. We remain green. So Shear with a wreck, and then Quayle stopped on the track. Unbelievable that did not bring out the caution flag. White flag is on the racetrack for Daniel Kobza. Anderson, Mitchell closing in. Do they have anything for the 93 car here on the white flag? So Quayle with a failure will move up Corbet. Felber put Nanico into 11th. Anderson's going to make one last dive on Kobza here in turn 3, but he just doesn't have the grip mid-corner. And it'll be Daniel Kobza winning here at New Hampshire in the NSDCA Dr. Pepper Dash Series. And Nanico's looking on the outside of Felber for a top 10 finish. And he's not going to get there. Felber, final man inside the top 10. But it was Daniel Kobza who started in 3rd place, that had the car to beat today. And he'll get his first win of the season here in the state whose motto is live free or die. Anderson 2nd, Mitchell 3rd. Great run for Mitchell in the title hunt. They're gaining points on Casey Nanico. Rakowski, your winner at Dover, will get 4th. Dale Cole Jr. 5th. Desmond Dock 6th. Luschan, Shepard, Corbet, and Felber round out your top 10. Nanico, Demolition Man, Cody Lamas 12th. Zach Rogers 13th at his closest home track, native of Massachusetts. Mitchell Collins 14th. Ellison 15th. Caesar 16th. Helipad 17th. York 18th. Picard, Stamp round out the top 20. Shearer will finish 21st with a damaged back end, and Wyatt Quayle, the only DNF, a tire failure here at the end of this thing at New Hampshire. So without further waiting, let's see what happened exactly to Kev Shearer going into turn 1. Looking at the incident with Kev Shearer, it's going to be Logan York here. Watch this into turn 1. Throws it in there. Shearer came down probably a hair. But Shearer's car never went 90 degrees around, and that's why we stayed green on the racetrack. Now let's see what happened to Wyatt Quayle. This was on the same lap as the incident with Kev Shearer, and coming off a turn 2, Quayle's car just stepped sideways, and it might have been a left rear or right rear tire failure for the 02 of Wyatt Quayle, and he knew he wasn't going to get it back to pit road safely with these flat corners. Yeah, you can see it wiggling there as he came to a stop. Tough break for the 02 of Wyatt Quayle. Your winner, though, here today at New Hampshire, the 93 of Daniel Kobza. And that is all for me here today at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Next time in the NSDCA Dr. Pepper Dash Series, your boy Brandon Morris will be back commentating Iowa, the season finale for the Dr. Pepper Dash Series, unless things change. If so, I'm on standby. I'm your man, Zach Rogers. Catch me on my channel, Bulldog Speed. See you all later here from the state of New Hampshire. Signing off.